Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis. And today we are going to be talking about Ripple and XRP, as well as the vast majority of crypto and finance. So with that being said, let's just dive in. And let's start off with this article that got posted back in March of this year. And we do see 2023 is the year banks commit to instant payments. Recently speaking, as we did look at a few things happening from the BIS, even the Fed, and many other central banks out there, we are now in that time where banks and major entities are realizing the benefits of utilizing DLT, crypto, blockchain technology to streamline payment technology and ultimately achieve instant settlement. The difference here is instant payments and instant settlement, right? You could have instant payments, but instant settlement is something that has to be achieved through some other entity. So with Swift GPI, for an example, everyone thought that that was a Ripple killer. And even Brad Garlinghouse debunked this going all the way back to 2020 and 2021, where everyone was, they were up in arms about it. They were like, well, what happens to Ripple and XRP now? Because Swift just achieved instant payments. The problem is that you can make faster payments, right? You can make payments a lot faster, but guess what? They demand rapid settlement, and Swift can achieve that. A lot of the problem areas here around payments is solved through DLT and crypto technology. It's the #1 reason why Ripple has been pioneering crypto solutions globally around the world to institutions, enterprises, you name it. In my opinion, yes, this is the year where we start to see utility really kind of take over. I think that now we are seeing major banks, as they do even say here, credit unions, banking platform providers, fintechs, all others involved in the payments process must commit to implementing real-time payments. And yeah, this is the year for it. This is the year where we truly focus on this. And I do think that utility is going to shine the brightest going forward on. I made a tweet earlier today and I said a significant change is coming globally. Most of the population doesn't even realize it yet. Mainstream media has been feeding the retail sector distractions. Now is the time to wake up and realize what is happening. Tokenization, digitization, streamlining payment technology, interoperability, etc. The elites are running experiments on how to interlink DLT networks to traditional networks. A radical change is on its way. Everything around you will be running on digital rails. Everything of value tokenized on-chain, stablecoins, CBDCs, it's all coming, it's happening, and it's inevitable. There is projects within this space that are crucial pieces of the puzzle being put together. I've been talking about XRP, HBAR, QNT, XLM, Casper, XDC, and so many other projects for well over 2 years now. In the last 24 months alone, we have seen so much happen around the global system. Most of the population is blind to what's happening. You need to wake up and see the change happening. And yes, as we look at the FedNow system, for an example, right? A lot of people think that that is the introduction to the CBDC system. And although that could very well possibly be the case, I also believe that the FedNow system could be the infrastructure for a US CBDC. Now, mind you, CBDCs, I don't think will be catered to the retail sector. I think CBDCs will be more so wholesale, while stablecoins issued by the central bank, backed by CBDCs, will most likely be the case, right? And that's going to be more so for retail. Now, of course, you can look at this a few ways. I've seen gold-backed theories. I've seen so many theories around this. Nobody really knows what's going to happen until it actually happens. All we do know is that DLT technology is a crucial piece of the puzzle. I've read so many documentations around Ripple with XRP, especially from the IMF, the BIS, and major entities out there, even like the FSB, that solidify some of these assets, like XRP, for an example, into the history of faster payments with instant settlement. Now, also on par with this, we are seeing radical change happening around the financial system itself. YogiBear_XRP posted this: 3 major changes happening in the financial system as we speak. ISO 20022, global payments, cross-border payments, remittances. Basel III and 4 regulations. This is where you get into the idea of gold-backed reserves, Gold is now a tier 1 asset. I also think that silver is going to be very beneficial for those out there that are holding silver. I think that silver could possibly outpace gold in terms of ROI over the next couple years. I think that silver is a crucial piece of anyone's portfolio that is building up physical assets. Remember, always buy physical in this case. I know that a lot of people out there have been telling me, hey, why would I buy physical when I could just buy digital and move around a lot easier with it? The problem is that, with digital, you never know if it's actually backed by any reserves. But then also the end of Libra, transition to SOFR. So for those out there that don't know what these actually mean, so Libra in this case is, this is the London Interbank Offered Rates. And this is going to transition to secured overnight financing rates, which could lead to the end of a multiple decade control of debt interest rates. This is a possibility. And then when you see, and you think this is not going to crater something on the global scale, how many institutions will not make the cut? Get out of here, TikTok. And we do see a few things down here, like the ARC also announced that the statements contributed a benchmark transition event under its fallback framework, which is again centered out on Libra. Also, down here, potential money market pricing solution to determine corporate SOFR credit spreads. Again, this is it says that it could be determined by reincorporating this process into new corporate credit agreements with the SOFR-based loans resold into money markets. And then down here, this is just kind of breaking down the ARC objectives and priorities for 2021, more so centered out on SOFR with liquidity and things like that. Again, as we look at what's happening, like radical changes are happening to crucial pieces of the global financial system. And whether or not most people want to focus on a few of these key factors, I think that these are crucial to focus on. I know that a lot of people ignore it, which is totally fine. You can. You could also focus on just like the main things, which is the transition to global payments with cross-border payments, remittances, and instant settlement, things like that. That's fine. But I do also like to look at a few of these other things and kind of focus on them and do a bit more research behind them, because again, we've even talked about a few changes happening to the Bretton Woods financial system, which is the rise of a new Bretton Woods kind of centered out on digitization and digital assets and things like that. And going back to his statement down there, and you think that this is not going to create or something on the global scale, I do believe that we will see a significant crash within the traditional system to have this new financial system rise. Over here, we do see from Bitcoin News, new $700 billion in increase in U.S. national debt since the debt ceiling was suspended 3 weeks ago. So almost $1 trillion added in less than a month to the debt. This is a big deal. Everyone needs to pay attention to this, because guess what? When we look at debt, when we look at inflation, hyperinflation is coming. You either own assets or you don't. And when you don't own assets during these times, you are screwed. A lot of people make jokes about like pricing within this market. Oh, Bitcoin going to $1 million. That's not going to happen for another 10, 20, 30, 40 years. When hyperinflation comes, you cannot underestimate the price of some of these assets. And it's not even just Bitcoin, like it's everything within this market. When you have something that is, when you have something that's deflationary at a time where hyperinflation hits, prices will skyrocket. This even means XRP. Everyone needs to be prepared for this, because if you don't own assets, you are going to be screwed. And the thing is that, yeah, we'll see significant price increases, but the problem is everything around you will also increase drastically. Like, what's the point of $1 million Bitcoin, if you will, if a gallon of milk costs $50, right? So this is going to be a pretty big problem. And I do think that it's happening. And also what's wild about all of this is that they do still have that idea around getting to that $50 trillion worth of debt. For example, here goes all the way back to April. Senator Ron Johnson to Janet Yellen. You are going to drive the debt to $50 trillion. Yes, but listen closely.
You're going to drive the debt from somewhere around $32 trillion up to about $50 trillion, correct?
Yes, but what I believe is the single most important metric for judging the fiscal stance of the country is real net interest as a share of GDP.
Okay.
We have
so are you concerned when you're taking the debt from $32 to $50 trillion? Are you concerned who's going to buy that debt, and also at what rate they'll expect to be compensated for buying riskier and riskier debt. Are you concerned about that?
Well, if the real net interest cost of the debt remains low relative to GDP, and we're on a sustainable fiscal.
Well, we're not on a sustainable path.
And yeah, you know, I agree with him here. Like, we're not on a sustainable path because this was back in April. Look at June now. We're almost in July. And in 3 weeks, we've added almost $1 trillion to the debt. So it seems as though what we are about to see is a significant rise in debt. It seems as though they are trying to collapse the traditional system to usher in this new system. And whether that be true or not, we need to focus on the big picture here. And it seems as though we're about to see a lot more problems around the banking sector. Like I said, I've seen a lot of people think that we're out of this, like we're cleared. I want you guys to look at this, right? So this is the bank failures in brief, summary 2001 through 2023. Again, we're not even, like, we had 3 so far in 2023. I read somewhere else that it was like about 5. Because this was last updated on May 1st. I think that we're at like 5 now. Just to put things into perspective, you know, 2007 we started with 3. 2008 we had 25. 2009, by 2009 we had 140, and then by 2010 we had 157. So we're at 3 bank failures, roughly maybe 5, right? We're right on course with 2007. This is why I think everyone needs to pay attention to what they're trying to tell you in the news. Like, they're saying, they're telling you that your bank accounts are fine. You don't need to be withdrawing money. The problem is that, listen, if you've seen the truth behind the story, everyone would be pulling money out of the bank. And if that was the case, these banks are screwed. They don't have enough money to back your deposits. And this is the biggest problem with fractional reserve banking that I've seen, and it's something that's been around forever now, and it's the biggest issue. It's the idea that individuals are putting way too much trust behind the banking sector at a time where you shouldn't be trusting the banks at all. And I think that after 2008, like 2007 all the way to like about 2010, you know, during that time, that should be a huge lesson that you learn, because these banks, they don't care about you. They're not here to protect you. They don't care about, you know, you at all. All they care about is you parking your money in the banks, because once you do so, that money's no longer yours. And it's money that's not even there. It's all fake money. It's all fake. So as we do look at the transition period here, yeah, I think that we are in a point of time where we might just see a massive collapse of the traditional system to usher in this new system, and it is going to be centered out on DLT, digital rails. It's the #1 reason why the elites are running these experiments. And right now is the best time to wake up and really like think for yourself. Avoid the media. Utilize the time that you would be spending watching the news or watching some type of nonsense TV show. Utilize that time properly to learn more about this sector, and really kind of immerse yourself in this new atmosphere of, I would argue, the evolution of our entire global system. And it's not just finance, right? It's everything around you. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, to notifications on if you guys want more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. So it's up to you all. Have a beautiful day or a beautiful night wherever you guys are in this beautiful world. This has been Nick. Peace out, guys.